Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. This is Joe, the bearded historian. He'll tell you an interesting history. Be careful of his soldiers, they can be brats. This is Angel, she's an entity. She'll cause chaos and plant her hands at you. This is Sue, she likes spirits, not the alcohol. She's the reason this channel exists. This is David, he likes fire trucks. He's here occasionally. Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. We preserve his story.
Morning, it's Monday. Guess what? We got a card from Crazy Crafter again. I keep winning contests that didn't know I was entering, but that, you know what? I don't mind. I like surprises. I like prizes that are surprises. So we're gonna open this first. Hold on. Okay, so we've got this very beautiful black card. This is the inside, so it's a card that we can use, send to somebody. So she makes wonderful cards. Check her out, like, share, comment. And now for the first part of the video. Mr. Bud.
Well, this item right here, part of the history, we're just leaving Newcastle, Wyoming. This was part of the Cheyenne to Deadwood Trail. After 1874, when Custer had his military expedition to confirm that gold was in the Black Hills, many rushed to the Black Hills using, this was one of three major areas that they came from. The Cheyenne-Deadwood Trail, established in 1876, trail covered nearly 300 miles between Cheyenne and Deadwood. Now, a trip could take anywhere from 30 hours in good weather to 72 in bad, and they had bad weather, rain, hail, thunderstorms. None of these fun things called asphalt or, concrete highways. Everything was dirt and, crushed stone. And they used multiple different trails, too, because some trails ran into Native American incursions. Some ran into bandits. Different groups, wanted to rob the stagecoaches as they went through. Blizzards would happen, countless other threats, ruthless road agents. Eventually, they wound up shipping gold from Deadwood in armored treasure coaches, which were lined with steel plates and guarded by armed men. Well, the trail fell into disuse after the Fremont, Elkhorn, and Missouri Valley Railroad, now the Chicago and Northwestern, completed lines to northern Nebraska and Rapid City. The last stage left Cheyenne in 1887 in February. Boogada boogada. And mommy's getting tired. In February of 1887. So mathematically, it ran for a little over 11 years. The probably
kind of fun.
Yeah. The biggest problem is that while they were using this stage line, Bismarck to Deadwood was actually shorter. And then when the railroad got to the Missouri, they were able to connect the line from Fort Pierre to Deadwood. And if I remember right, that was about 220 miles as well. And so the trick was, before the railroads moved their way across, like they were saying, is once the railroad got to Rapid City, things were a lot easier. Then you're only talking maybe a short 40-mile jaunt. But until, the railroads managed to complete those lines, the wagons was the lifeblood to Deadwood. Supplies, people, all sorts of things had to make that journey. And the stagecoach, served its purpose. When they opened up western South Dakota, for example, they had contracted out 3 stagecoach lines. They had the Bismarck, they had the Fort Pierre, and then they even had one in the south that, if I remember right, it came up through Vermilion, up the Missouri River and then even cut over there by Dakota City. But once they got the railroads crossing into those areas, the funny part is the Southern Railroad actually wound up following the southern route because they made a deal with the Lakota and said, "Oh yeah, we'll pay you this much to basically control this land, and we'll run the railroad through there." And that loop eventually became what was known as the Milwaukee Line.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they even named the locomotive the Sioux.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this was a little history tidbit that they had. But yeah, Cheyenne, it was really funny because Wyoming was settled a lot faster than South Dakota was in the West.
It's because we're difficult people.
Yeah, well, that, and we tried to keep the Black Hills as independent from the whites. But once they discovered gold, then, the rush to statehood happened. And it was just kind of a crazy time, both for the control of the land, and we saw that from some of our posts for Nebraska, where we tried to negotiate with the put up or shut up contract.
We didn't record those, did we?
I think we need to. I think we might need to do that shot again, because I don't think we recorded it.
No, I think you started reading before I got my camera up,
Exactly.
and I'm just
So next time we're in Nebraska, we will share something with you. But yeah, this is one of their efforts to get into the Black Hills, and they had miners coming in from every direction possible, by stagecoach. They came from North Dakota, they came across from the Missouri River, and they came up through Cheyenne. So, and by about 1900, most of the mining was all done underground. When you talk about the guys that had the homestake mining, a lot of their stuff was able to go underground. A lot of people didn't, do a lot of tunnel mining. They, would either try to pan or, depending on what sort of minerals they were trying to dig out. Everybody was always big on gold, but there was like 27 different minerals that you could get out of the Black Hills. To this day, there's still minerals we're coming up with. Up by Tinton, they're coming up with minerals that don't even make any sense why in the world they're there, other than the fact that, this is the Black Hills, is one of the earliest mountain sites that they had, and it's, just finally grinding away after centuries and centuries of general weather.
I always think it's funny that they're mountains, but we call it the Black Hills, and I'm just make up your mind, is it one or the other?
Well, yeah, because, you've got 8 peaks that are all over 7K, but then people look at, the Rocky Mountains and go, well, there's no way it's that big. Well, true, but you also figure out how long the Black Hills have been eroding over the centuries. And so it kind of, plays all into the time window that they're still trying to figure out. And then, next week they're going to come up with some new forecast about how the Black Hills are older than everything. Scientists are always good at guesswork like that. So, but anyway, short tidbit. Yeah, right.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
And too short to be a regular video, and too long to be a short.
Right.
This is the Village Historian doing a quick input.
Right. But
who believes that? Say goodbye, Mr. Bud.
Goodbye.
Morning. It's Monday, part 2 of our race. I've chosen a balloon bouncy ball type thingy today. Are you ready? Here we go. Shout out time. Here's a shout out just for you. You support me, so I support you. The shout out is for our friend. Let's see who it is today. Ready? We got Tez. We got Focus. Ion, Goat, Anthony, Bobby, BS, Cherry, Eddie, Rich Cat, Ocean, E-Money, Jared, Rich, Marketplace, Hiking Ontario, Derek, Cramps, Makeup, Goat, now I am currently in the lead, Makeup's in the back, Richard, Jared, Cat Rich, Rich cat, I guess I should say. Spirit, Turtle, She Stole, Derek, Makeup, Tramps, Lynn, Aisha, Scott, Harry. Aisha's currently in the lead. Are you going to win? Well, it might be Talks. Oh no, Scott wins. Alright, so this is Scott in Old Fart Gaming. He occasionally pretends to play a game. He does a lot of connecting and sharing and supporting. So about the first 10, 15 minutes, depending upon how talkative he's feeling, are not gameplay. But he's wonderful. I don't know how old he is, but I would not put him in the old fart category, but he's put himself there. He plays Witcher a lot, and like I said, he does do a lot of lives with other content creators, that including singing and supporting and everything else. If you're a gamer or just want to support, check him out. Like, share, comment, have a good day. Alright, well, we've got Homestead Adams Research Culture Center and lots of waspies. Ooh, jeez. Oh. This is in Lead, and technically it's in between. We're on the edge. Yeah, that says Deadwood history. Parking, so I guess technically in Deadwood.
That feels good on the knees.
I'm sorry, babes.
This place ain't worth $1 million when I took down. It looks like shop closed.
Is it all closed?
No, you get in.
Okay, give me a second. Points of interest. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it is closed. Except for the,
So James Williams' office is open.
That's kind of cool, though.
Last name. Want to say some renovations. Some of these equipment we know about because they've had them at several of the mines.
Right.
The drilling use. Double jacking. Huh, here we go. Yeah, I know how much gold you have. This is how they weighed it. All the way from the tiniest amounts all the way to the big Hummer 500.
About the doubt they use that one very often.
It's weird. They got offices and everything. Here's your bathrooms if you want to use them.
Yeah, I won't do that here. I'm just going to get this side real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Kind of a cool device.
Hmm?
Well, there's this thing called the door classifier, and basically it was used to sort. They set one up in Terry.
Huh.
And then basically what it would do is that it would sort out the discharged rock from the stamp mills. That's what those big things are. And then depending on the thickness of the crushed rock, it would allow the continuous processing of greater gold yield. Try to... Well, remember when the one lady said you had to make X number of tons of
Right.
debris and you get so many ounces? Well, it was a way to try to make that more effective. That's kind of cool. You even get the stamps for the blocks.
Right.
But, so that is the vault archive.
Yeah, it's also locked. Yeah, I tried it.
Like the Gnomish collection.
Yeah, gnomes are cute. But yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that they bailed out on us.
I am too, but I'm not sure what's upstairs. You want to try it? Oh, map noises. Oh, wow. Old map noises.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Blueprints, too, it looks like.
See, this is the type of stuff that they're starting to find new use for in that other company up in Lead.
Right.
Because they're using the research that these guys did to try to continue to follow the gold lines up by Maitland, where we've been, up by the Richmond Hill, where we've been, or planning on to going next.
Right.
And when I was looking at it last night, Richmond Hill area is huge.
Cool.
So it'll depend on on how deep they can go, and how much they're exploring. But it'll definitely be something fun to go for a trip on. But yeah, I mean we could sign the guest book, but we got it behind the chains.
I'm surprised they have this area open. It's almost a liminal space.
The Fridays and Saturdays deal. They have a shootout at 4.
Almost 4.
Hanging with the shooters at 4:20. Preserving and promoting history in Deadwood. We will.
I forgot. This is a 3-parter. I'm not going to do a second shout out because I think it's good to do one shout out at a time, unless I'm doing the major one. So what I am going to do is say thank you to all of you and enjoy the very last video for today. I hate small videos like this, but occasionally they happen. But I wanted the videos that we premiere to be long enough for all of you to share at least 15 minutes so that you have time to get in, say hello, maybe chat with a friend. So I'm adding this little piece, which I believe is a sign. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's a sign. Enjoy. Mr. Bud, what you tell us?
Well, there was actually 2 Cambria sites here in Wyoming. There was the coal mining area and fuel station that we saw further south. We were just there earlier, the Camp V. Now this is the Cambria salt mines. A group of Euro-Americans discovered the salt springs in 1877 near the future town sites of Newcastle and Cambria. In November of '78, James LaGraves started mining the salt and shipping it to the Black Hills gold mines. LaGraves erected a furnace that contained 2 evaporating pans, which he used to collect the salt. LaGraves sent the salt to the Black Hills by freight wagon, and it was used in chlorinating the extracted gold and silver. He prospered for the next 6 years. When the railroad reached Rapid City, it brought a cheaper supply of salt, and at the same time, LaGraves' equipment began to wear. As a result, LaGraves ended his salt mining business in 1884. The salt springs remained out of production while the commercial coal mining began in 1887, which led to the establishment of Cambria, a few miles from the springs. In 1905, Cambria coal mines were in full production, and a new group, the Cambria Salt Company, organized to process 35,000 pounds of salt produced every 24 hours.
Holy cow, that's a lot of salt.
That's a lot of frickin' salt. Cambria Salt laid a pipeline 3.5 miles to Cambria, where the salt mining plant was located. The company sold the salt to the coal companies, as well as shipping it to the Black Hills. Wanting to expand it and ensure its future, the company drilled to find the salt bed. The Cambria Salt Company never found it, and after considerable investment, in 1909 it sold the property, ending attempts to produce salt from the Cambria salt mine. Weird. So they were able to get 35,000 pounds of salt produced, but they were never able to actually find where the salt bed was.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it might still be out there somewhere, but...
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of wild, though. And what's funny is that South Dakota didn't become a state until 1889 or 1890. So
we don't exist yet.
Yeah, we weren't even on the map yet, but they were willing to send it in for the gold miners to help the process. It's kind of cool.